Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to a new month, a new chance to get either hyped by new characters or ultimately disappointed to the point of frustration. Now, we have the Domino, or as I like to call her now, the Lucky Domino effect, because if she's really great, then the momentum of the month will just naturally fall like a stack of dominoes with her, and if she's terrible, it will naturally fall with the disappointment that is June, a month that generally just kind of is on the calendar anyways. So I'm not going to really do a champion review in this video specifically because this is like reviewing a restaurant when you only have a picture of what the exterior will look like. It's very difficult and deceiving and ultimately misleading to try to get something out of this kind of character with just a screenshot. But what's not is really what I focus on when these snapshots get released. There's a couple of things we can for sure guarantee about Domino based off of this picture, which has been floating around the community this morning. Now, the first is if we zoom in on this third synergy bonus, Massacre has been confirmed, and I realize that you may not be able to see it that well, but it says Mercs for money with Massacre, confirming that Massacre is indeed a champion that gets a synergy bonus from Domino. But the one that probably is going to be some sort of title on this video, and maybe even the thumbnail, is what I have been told about from so many people, specifically those who unfortunately got their first 6-star champion as X-Force Deadpool, which he is somebody who has to be at the very top of the list of champions that desperately need a buff because he is so freaking terrible in all capacities, and it really blows the community's mind. It definitely blows mine that a champion that is so good in the Marvel Universe would be so bad in the game. So, one thing that I have heard about constantly from a lot of people in the community is that the bleed damage with this guy just stinks, right? You compare it to even an X-23, a Wolverine, maybe even a Black Panther, and he can't stack. Well, unfortunately, it looks like you still can't stack the X-Force Deadpool bleed damage, but it does say Domino's well-timed blocks increase her lucky chance, and Deadpool X-Force deals more bleed damage. Now, I wish that it would say how much more, and I guess maybe when we're actually having the character be released in the game next week, we shall know what that means. But I am hopeful that this is somehow a buff to the character, since we have received no formal announcement that there's any plans for anything to do with X-Force Deadpool. Not sure why I keep calling it X-Pool. That sounds like a really bad adult film. So I just want to say that this character deserves a massive buff, and Kabam is doing this thing now. They did it kind of with Old Balls Logan with Sabretooth, where they take the easy way out, right? Instead of spending the time and the effort and the energy to do a character justice like they did Red Hulk and Luke Cage, and they actually get some content creators to play around and give suggestions, they just put out new characters that sort of buff them with synergy bonuses, and it looks like that is going to be the case with Domino and X-Force Deadpool. Now, one thing that intrigues me about Domino as well is the critical failure ability, which the opponent links energy damage, or I should say takes energy damage whenever their abilities have a chance to trigger but don't. Because I can see that in its worst capacity being like a really bad version of Void, or another champion that when you're fighting in the uncollected quest, you just naturally drain health even if you aren't doing anything wrong. Because if your abilities aren't triggering, which naturally you really don't have the ability to control that, you're just going to be taking damage right and left. And that will be something that certainly for the uncollected, which always is like hyper on steroids buffed, would be a really, really bad fight. But besides that, if it really is something that's truly terrible, that would also be a pain in Alliance War. Now, we said that about Void, and then from my experience fighting Voids, even at the top tiers of Alliance War, yes, you can take damage, but it is nothing compared to what it was in the Uncollected. So hopefully there's some kind of middle ground between taking damage, but also not just being absolutely wrecked for no reason at the end of the day. I do think that when it comes out with people like this, with like Domino, I don't know too many people that fight with Cable on attack. I don't know too many people that fight with regular Deadpool, and I've been asked this question a lot. I was asked this question maybe 6 times in the live stream last night. I don't know the answer to it, but I would hope that because of the hype of this champion, that similar to what happened with OG Vision a couple weeks back with the release of the opportunity to purchase them exclusively in the unit store if there isn't a Deadpool arena, and I still don't think there's going to be because Kabam likes to make money off of these limited time characters. Hopefully this month there will be some kind of pay to get release of Deadpool. What would be amazing is if it was a unit-based offer, even if it's 4,000 units for the 4-star red Deadpool and 15,000 units for the 5-star. Still to have the opportunity to have it be unit-based and not not completely dependent on cash would be really ideal. But who knows? My wishes rarely get granted in the game, but I can always talk about them. So this is what we know about Domino so far. Sorry that the picture is pixelated, but I wanted to get this out to the community right away. And I wanted to most importantly get feedback for those of you who have Deadpool X-Force regarding, do you think this is like a cool buff, or do you think it's still really, really lazy and ultimately something that's not going to make you excited to play with that character, even if you pull Domino and team them up as a synergy team? So thanks for watching. Happy June. Hopefully this month doesn't suck. And so far I'm a little skeptical of that. I wish the monthly calendar was better. I wish the new missions were better. I just have some skepticism, but I've been wrong before, and I don't want to always be Mr. Negative, right? So let's have some optimism and hope that Domino's great, and it's actually a kind of a cool buff to X-Force Deadpool, and we'll just go from there. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But like I said, happy June. Thanks for watching, and comment below and tell me what your thoughts are on this new champion.